Yeah, guys, we are back, guys. Shout out to everybody, man. Shout out to all the subs. Shout out to everybody who clicked on this, guys. Maybe you're subbed, maybe you're not. It doesn't matter. Don't, guys. If you're not subbed, do yourselves a favor. Do not subscribe to this channel. You don't want to subscribe to this channel. It's pure nonsense over here. Don't subscribe. But guys, so we are here with something that nobody asked for, because you guys know how I am on this channel. This channel is not for me trying to get views or listening. I do listen to what you guys say. Most of the time we do. I say 98% of the time we listen to the stuff you guys tell me, but I sometimes I want to hear something. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, guys, we're gonna hear something that I have surprisingly, very surprisingly, but not surprisingly, that I've never heard. If you guys want to get to it, skip ahead because I'm gonna ramble just a little bit. But like, so I know it's like, how have you never heard Back in Black? Because this came up the other day in my real life. Well, life is real, right? It's all real, but but it's literally this came up the other day, talking about it's about AC/DC, and then this album came up, and I was like, oh, I never heard it. I'm like, what? No, you're kidding. I'm like, no, I never heard it. They're like, how have you never heard Back in Black? What are you talking about? I'm like, yeah, I just never heard it. I never heard it. So I was thinking about it, and I was like, yeah, I should hear it. We should hear it. So I mean, it's one. This is one that you know, just to, like I said, to ramble a little bit, but like, you know, when I was like in high school, like I was super into AC/DC. I loved AC/DC, but only the Bon Scott years. That was it. And you know, I was, because you know, when I was like, you know, now I'm super open to music, and we listen to everything. If you guys see all the other videos on this channel and stuff, we listen to all kinds of different stuff, but a lot of like pop stuff, like recent, newish, 20 years, which 20 years for me is recent, because you guys know I like old music. I like music from the 20s. I like old music. I love Debussy. I love, you know, Motown shit. 60s, that's pretty recent to me. 70s is super recent to me. I like old stuff, you know what I'm saying? When I was 14 years old, I was trying to learn Django licks, you know what I'm saying? Django Reinhardt, if you guys don't know, do yourselves a favor, close this video. Go look up Django Reinhardt. Don't waste your time watching me watch music. Go listen to Django, bro. But you know what I'm saying? So it's like, I was just always into just old school shit, right? So my point is like, all right, it's like AC/DC, like, I was super like into them, but just the Bon Scott years, because when I was that age, because when I was high school from like 13 to 16, you know what I mean? So like, like at that age, I was like, nah, if it's not whatever, like fuck everything else, you know? Like, my main thing was also like, I mean, guys, you see this Chess Records shirt I'm wearing? I literally made this shirt myself, like. But like when I was like that age, like that's all I had. Man, I just, if it's not Howlin' Wolf, go fuck yourself. And then eventually I opened up to more music. But like, my point is, so I got into AC/DC, but like, I just remember hearing on the radio, but I never heard the song the whole way through. But I know the hook. I know the hook for, what's it called? You Shook Me. What's it called? You Shook Me All Night Long. I don't know what the fuck the song's called. You Shook Me All Night Long. Yeah, I've heard that. I mean, I've heard that hook for sure, and I know it's played like in commercials and movies and shit. Also, Back in Black, I do know. I've heard, and I've never sat actually and listened to it though, but I've heard the riff. I know the riff. But I don't know, for whatever reason back then, I was just like, nah, fuck that. It's stupid. It doesn't sound good, man. They should have ended the band. Why did they have to try to replace Bon Scott? I don't know. I was just, again, I was like 14 years old. Just some dumb fucking, just some dumb kid in high school. Like, fuck that, you know? What the fuck? Like, you know, like, also too, I'm rambling. I'm in a ramble mode, so like, side note, but like, I was also super, at that time, heavy into Van Halen. Same thing though. Fuck Van Hagar or whatever. Because I remember randomly hearing on the radio one time, what's that song? Why can't this be love? It's got what it takes, whatever the song is. And I remember being like, that's Van Halen after David Lee Roth left. Fuck that. I'll never listen to that. Fuck that. It's only the David Lee Roth there, and not, and that's all I would listen to. But I listened to those albums you know what I'm saying? I was like, fuck that. I want to hear Atomic Punk. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to hear Little Dreamer. I'm trying to hear Light Up the Skies, Romeo's Delight. I'm not trying to hear fucking, why can't this like be that should have annoyed me when I was a kid. But loaded with the Charlie clip. Look how it come around though, right? Like, look how it come around though. Later on, I eventually got open to like all music. Now I'm open to everything. I love all kinds of music. I don't give a fuck what the genre is. I love everything now. But when Eddie died, rest in peace, the fucking goat of the fucking goats, Eddie fucking Van Halen, bro. When he died, the night he died, I was in LA that day. I was still living in LA at the time, and fucking on KLOS, it just came up. As a matter of fact, no, I remember my friend who was like the most hardcore #1 EVH fan you ever meet in your life. I woke up to a text. Fucking bro, EVA, no, what the fuck? And I got so fucking sad. Like, it's I've never ever been sad about some famous person that I didn't know dying ever. That's the only time. Oh, and Huell Hauser, if anybody from California, you guys know Huell. When Huell died, I was like, no, I was actually sad when Huell died. And the only other time I've ever been sad from a celebrity death was fucking also too R.I.P. Pat Stay. That was fucked up. But when fucking Eddie died, man, I was like, nah, like, just took me back to being a kid, and fucking just sitting there trying to learn lick by lick and note by note, you know what I mean? And like fucking just hoping one day you could fucking build up to actually, of course, Eruption, right? That's the big. Also the Hot for Teacher intro though too. Let's be for real. That shit and the solo to really play that solo is tricky as fuck, bro. And the Beat It solo to me is like that's his fucking. Bro, it doesn't get any better than the Beat It solo. But my point is, when he died, I woke up sad as shit. I'm like, fuck, I'm just gonna go around and just drive around, man. I was like, what the fuck? I'm all sad. Like, I'm gonna just drive around and smoke weed. Like, what the fuck? Eddie died, bro. Like, it broke my fucking heart. I can't even explain to you guys how much it fucked me up. And there's only one station, the classic rock station in LA, KLOS, and they were just Van Halen nonstop for like fucking like probably like 24 hours or maybe more. It was just nonstop fucking Van Halen. And they were playing a bunch of the tracks from the Van Hagar era, though. So a bunch of them that I never really heard, and I was listening to them, I was like, oh, this shit is fire. I was like, what the fuck was I, because I was a dumb fucking kid, I was like 13, 14, fuck it, if it's not Daily Roth, I don't want to hear. And then I'm hearing the shit, and again, look how it come around, though. I remember hearing that song, Why Can't This Be Love? I'm like, oh, this song is fire as shit. It's catchy as fuck. It's so fucking good. The performances are so good. His fucking playing on that, oh my god, the rip. It's such a fire song. But you know what I mean? But when I was a kid, I would have been like, fuck, that never would have heard. And then, you know what I mean? Later on hearing it, like, oh no, this is fire. What's my point? Again, bringing it back around, I was super into AC/DC. Bon Scott era. I will say though, I gotta say, maybe controversial, Let There Be Rock, clearly best album from the Bon Scott era. Like, I see people say Powerage, I love Powerage, and I see people say Highway to Hell. Highway to Hell's fire too, but like, come on, stop it. It's Let There Be Rock. That's like clearly leaps and bounds their fucking best album, at least from that era. But getting into this after, I've never heard any album. I've never even heard a full, complete song from what's his full? Brian Johnson is his name, right? That's his name, right? Brian Johnson? I don't even fucking... That's how much I'm not... I know the name, though, right? That's the name. I know the face. I've seen him, but, like, I don't know, for whatever reason, it just fucking, like... As much as I loved listening to them, I had every fucking album. I would play the shit out of... Even fucking If You Want Blood, You Got It, which, to me, is only... Looking back, actually, it's only like an okay-ish album, to be honest. I mean, it's a good album, but I'm saying when you compare it to the other live albums from the time, you know what I'm saying? The song remains the same. Frampton Comes Alive. I don't know. Whatever. Doesn't matter. Although I will say no album, side note, and then let's get into this. Oh, but also I was going to say, since I know no album beats, but then I'm thinking, what's the Motorhead one? What's the Motorhead one? Is it like Life of Hammersmith? What's it called? I forgot what the fuck that. Double Live Gonzo too. There's a lot of 70s crazy fucking fire classic albums. But Deep Purple Made in Japan. Stop it. I'm going to say that one beats them all. I'm going to be so fucking serious. Bruh, what fucking live album of the 70s are you guys going to put over? Let me know. If you guys got a one that you think takes out Made in Japan and Deep Purple, let me know. But Anyway, guys, let's get into this shit. I'm rambling. Guys, released August 1st, 1980. We got AC fucking DC. How have I never heard this? I can't believe this is going to be my first time hearing this. Guys, at that time too, like every single fucking classic rock band of the era I was into, I listened to everything. But for some reason, those two bands, AC/DC and Van Halen, there was just something to me about like putting in a different singer where it's just like, and especially I felt like when Boss Scott died, to me as a kid I was like, that's weak. They should have just started another band or gone to like can't replace. I know they weren't trying to do that. I understand again now as an adult, but like, you know what I mean? I can't believe. My point is I can't believe I'm about to say this, but again, guys. Released August 1st, 1980. I'm about to hear for the first time, guys. AC fucking DC Back in Black. fire vibratos. Right? You know, just going down the pentatonic like that in like that position. All right, I gotta say that was a weird way to end the album. That was just I do like I said earlier, I do like different endings though. So, but that was a kind of a weird one. Rock and roll, bump. That's it, bump. Yeah, I feel like I should have just ended rock and roll, and then just that. You didn't need that bump. that bump at the end, that little hit at the end, kind of threw me off. But man, I gotta say, actually, I mean. Wow, big fucking, hey guys, big surprise. Fucking, I like the album. It was a good album. Wow, big fucking surprise. It's one of the biggest albums of all time, right? I mean, I always heard that, like best selling ever, right? So it's like, I will say though that to me it felt not as much. And again, I don't mean this in a bad way because I know that people who are into any type of rock at all. And metal, whatever. Any type of music that has punk too. Any type of music that has loud distorted guitars. If pretty much all of those genres, if you mention the word sellout or like that's like, and I don't mean sellout in a bad way, but if you say anything like referring to like being commercial, that's like looked at as being a sellout. People are like, that's like the worst thing you could be, Whereas like. I don't give a fuck. I don't know. Musicians gotta make money, bro. Who gives a shit? But my point though is to say, not that this was sellout, but I'm saying, my point is to say, this to me didn't feel as much, but it almost gave me vibes of like, if you guys ever heard Eliminator from ZZ Top, which is like, it's still ZZ Top, but it was very, and again, I'm not even saying that this necessarily was by design. Hey, let's try to have a mainstream sound or something that. But I'm just saying, I'm not saying it was they did it on purpose. But I'm saying, at the end of the day, that's what this sound was to me. You know what I mean? But it was still AC/DC though. It was AC/DC, but with something that feels like someone who might not be able to grab onto some other stuff might be able to grab onto this. Is what it, and that's not a bad thing. You know what I mean? But that's what this album felt like to me. Like, almost every track felt to me like, oh yeah, like, you know what I mean? Like, something about maybe something about the melodies, something about the riffs. I don't know, maybe something about production. The way the whole thing just came together. Like, it came together to give you, like, obviously one of the best-selling records of all time. Like, it's clear why, And I feel crazy for never having heard it because this was fire, Like I said, to me it just felt very, like I said, I don't think it's a bad thing to say that this had like a more commercial sound is my point, because I know that word commercial to a lot of people equates to sellout, and that's like the worst thing you could be. You know what I mean? You have to just be like unsuccessful your whole career. then you're real and you're true and you stay true to the music, man. But then you got success because you made a song people want to listen to. Oh, you sold out, man. Like, all right, shut up. Shut up. You're not even in the band, bro. Shut up. Just some guy. Fuck it. But whatever. But my point is, so I felt like this, like I said, had more of a easier to get into kind of commercial sound, I suppose you could say. More than like fucking like, I mean, maybe I'm biased because it's my favorite album from them. But like I said, this is like a whole lot of Rosie is way different than anything. You know what I'm saying? Like something like that is like, it's just, you know what I mean? Like where it's just like this. Not that this one wasn't too, but this one, you know what I'm saying? It had some like, you can like, oh yeah, like a sound that maybe someone who's not even necessarily super into they don't know anything about rock or anything at all, or anything like music like this, but they might hear one of these tracks and be like, oh yeah, I like that. You know what I mean? And that's not a bad thing either. You know what I'm saying? It's, if people get introduced to stuff from something like this, like, that's great. And then they decide to go and check out other AC/DC, and then they decide to check out other bands from that era, another type. That's great. You know what I'm saying? So again, I'm not, just because I know people, I mentioned that before in a Metallica reaction that I did, and I know people were like, no, they didn't sell out. I'm like, they were commercial, they never did. Like, I didn't mean it a bad man. It's okay that more people wanted to listen to Metallica. It's okay they did something that was easier to digest. It just is what it is, I mean, you guys know my whole thing is, my favorite music ever in the world is jazz, right? You guys know Herbie Hancock, maybe, but like, he had like a pop commercial thing with Rocket in the 80s, like, that doesn't take away from fucking from everything else. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't take away from fucking from like fucking Maiden Voyage and all that shit and all the shit with Miles, everything that he fucking did, like his whole career, like you know what I'm saying? But hey, maybe some people hear that and then all of a sudden like, oh, what else is Herbie Hancock here? And then they start listening, then they hear Wayne Shorter, and then all of a sudden they hear fucking Weather Report, and then they go check out Joe Zawinul, and then they fucking hear him with fucking Cannibal Adderley, and then they fucking hear him with fucking Miles, and all of a sudden, you know what I'm saying? You're hearing all this shit. It's like, I don't think it's a bad thing. So, my point is, yeah, to me, this was like, it definitely had like its, I feel like it was like their brightest in terms of like, you know what I mean? I guess kind of that gets more into more like music theory shit, but like, they also darkest too though, because to be honest, this also had their darkest sounds, to be honest, because this is the first time I think I really ever, with maybe a couple, I could think maybe one song that like, I'm thinking from the Bon Scott era, they never really did anything in minor keys, you know? And this had like 2 or 3 tracks that were in a minor key. Maybe it was just 2, maybe it was 3, I don't remember, but yeah, it was a tragedy, could be the question. No, but the point is, like, I feel like they still also had their brightest sounds, but also their darkest sounds in a way. But, you know, just the way they opened up, you know what I mean? Great opening, great fucking opening. The fucking bell ringing and everything, fire. Yeah, I mean, what am I say? I will say, out of all the fucking, what the fuck was that track called? What the fuck was it called? Shoot to Thrill, yeah, that was the best track. To me, that was the best track on the whole fucking album. That track was fucking amazing. Like, they were all giving the dog a bone. The chorus was kind of, but you know, I feel like might be a personal thing for me too, because like I am not a fan at all of call and response in like this type of music. Like to me, it could work sometimes, but a lot of times it comes off corny as shit, and I fucking hate it. You know, and it's just cringe, and it's such an 80s thing too. They did it in the 70s too. But like, especially with like this kind of, you know, stuff where it's, you know, I don't know, something about call and response, like it works great for certain things, you know what I mean? But like, not for other things, you know what I mean? You like, think about like old school jazz from the 40s or something. Even go like blues, the oldest, you think about St. Louis blues, if you guys know St. Louis blues. Like, alright, like with the little call and response like that, that's like with the old school shit, but sometimes when it's just kind of, I don't know, especially with some of the 80s stuff. I don't know, especially to me, I know people love it. This is a side note, but you know, it was super 80s thing, you know, the singer, hey, and then the audience, hey, hey, fucking Freddie Mercury would do that every fucking concert, and he was a great singer, but it's like, I always thought that shit was cheesy and corny. Just fucking play a song, Shanibly. Just play a song, Shanibly. I hate that shit. Or when the fucking guitarist and the singer would do that. And, you know, it's fine. I said earlier, Made in Japan. They do that on that album. You know what I mean? I said Song Remains the Same. They do that on that album, too. But I'm not a fan of that shit. I don't know. Sometimes it just comes off to be kind of cheesy and corny. But like, I don't know. I guess at the time it was cool. You know, whatever. I don't know. At the time it's fun. Like, yeah, we all get to. The other thing they would always do too that I hate. Luckily there was none of that on this album. They did a lot of it in the 70s and 80s though, where they in like the song would be short. So because back like they were sort of trying to get somewhat longer singles. It wasn't the 2.5 minute 60s anymore. You know what I mean? Like you'd have a 3.5, maybe 4 minute. So they would like tack on the chorus again, but just have it be drums. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? What fucking what's that singer song? You know what I'm talking about? Where it does that? There's a bunch of songs that do it, but I can't think of any at the top of my head. But I hate when they did that shit. Oh yeah, Eagles did it too. Heartache Tonight. Somebody's gonna hurt somebody. You know what I mean? Where it's just the drums, and then like it's like, all right, everybody sing along now. Ugh, I hate that shit. My point is like that type of like stuff. Like it was the time. So my point is to say I don't like it personally, but I don't take points away or necessarily. So even my point is to bring it all back around. I know it sounds like I'm rambling, but I'm not. You know, bringing it all back home. Bob Dylan. Giving the dog a bone, even though I said that the fucking chorus was kind of like corny as fuck, it was a thing at the time, so you can't get really mad at it. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Also, like I said too, like this whole album just made me want to party with Spuds MacKenzie. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? This is just like a fun party album to me. There's like hearing this was not, you know, this is not like, all right, this is, you know, let's talk about this and analyze the fucking changes, and this is some serious like, this is fucking open a beer, fucking without the pull tab. You actually had to fucking get the opener, and you fucking open up a beer and fucking, you know what I'm saying? You fucking wearing your Marlboro jacket because you got enough fucking from the catalog, you know? And you just put this on, and it's a good fucking old school fucking party record. But a different type of party record. It doesn't have to be like, because there's two types of parties. There's parties meaning dancing, and then partying meaning people who like to get fucked up, you know? Hey, we're gonna party. You guys know what I'm saying, clearly. I like both, clearly. But that type of party, that's that type of party music. You know, like, hey, they're gonna get fucked up. Just, you know, we're gonna go just get all fucked up. Yeah, fucking put on AC/DC, crank that shit. You know what I mean? Put on Back in Black. You know what I mean? It's like, gives a great party record, you know? So anyway, guys, shout out to everybody, man. We'll be back, guys. In the description, go check my real channel with my music and the new KTSE weather channel, guys. You remember the 1993 weather channel? Well, it's back, guys, in POG form. It's going to be live 24/7, up to the minute live weather with original soundtrack, weather 1993 weather music. It's amazing. Get ready, guys. Go check it out in the description. We're going live this week. We're supposed to go live last week with the technical difficulties. It's the whole fucking story, but it doesn't even matter. Guys, go in the description. This channel's going live soon. Check out my music on my real channel, and guys, we'll be back.